Welcome back to Auto Care Academy. Today is transmission talk, so we have a guest lecturer.
Joe?
Obviously Joe.
What are we calling him this week?
Professor Transmission.
I thought we agreed on Dean of Diagnostics.
I had some options.
I bet you did.
Transmission talk is now in session. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Transmission Talks with Myles Auto Care and Transmissions. I'm Taryn, and this is Joe, our transmission specialist. Last week, we talked about the electrical systems that help your vehicle start, charge, and stay on schedule. This week, we're talking about two systems that work hard behind the scenes while you drive: your transmission and your cooling system. If your vehicle has started shifting differently, running hotter than normal, or just doesn't feel quite right, today we're going to be talking about what those changes could mean and why they're worth paying attention to. I feel like we've already talked about what a bad shift feels like, so I want to come at this a little bit differently. If my car shifts weird when I drive for a while, but feels fine when I first pull away from the house, does that tell you anything?
When you first start out and it's cold, the fluid is thicker. And especially if you haven't changed it in a while, it's extra thick than what it's supposed to be, and the viscosity and everything is totally thrown off. Mm-hmm. So as you drive and it gets hotter and the aluminum expands, that fluid is going to thin out, and then it'll find all the wear and, say, the valve body and the pump or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then it won't be able to push and apply valves like it's supposed to. And then it'll throw off the whole system, won't know what to do. And that fluid is just going to be blowing by as it gets too hot, because it's no longer, when fluid is correct and serviced, the fluid properties change differently throughout heat. So when you have really old fluid, it can thin out really fast, and then it can't compensate, whereas good fluid is more consistent through the heat cycle.
When a transmission gets hot, does the way it shifts actually change? Could heat be the reason that something only shows up 20 or 30 minutes after driving?
Yeah, because that's when most problems will show their faces. Everything expands, everything moves, everything changes. Then all of a sudden it's, oh, okay, there's my weak spot. And it just fluid will head right to it, or do what it's not supposed to do, or whatever. Things will hang up because now metal's moving around. There's all the metal that, a lot of times when it sits overnight, any metal that's in it will kind of like pack down to the bottom. So until the heat gets moving and flowing past it and picks up all the metal, then it'll go up in the valves, cause all kinds of things that way. So there's a couple of different reasons. It'll literally coagulate like speed bumps on the road. It molds around the filter. Yeah. And then it creates two little speed bumps.
Now here's something I always wondered. My dashboard has an engine temperature gauge, but my dashboard doesn't have a transmission temperature gauge. So how am I supposed to tell if my transmission's getting hot?
Especially on newer cars, they all have them. There's always a temperature sensor inside the unit. But that's something that the TCM regulates on its own. Okay. So if it sees a problem, usually you'll get some kind of warning, like trans over temp, pull over.
For people who don't know, can you go over what a TCM is?
Transmission control module, or TCU, transmission control unit. The TCM and the ECM talk to each other to regulate TCM. TCM controls the trans. Inside the trans is a temperature sensor. So if the temperature goes up too high, typically every car is going to have some kind of indicator that says pull over and stop. Trans over temp, whatever. But it also uses the trans temp sensor to regulate shifts as well.
Okay, so there's not like a designated light, but it'll tell me.
Yeah.
But do you think older cars would have that?
I mean, temp sensors have been introduced probably since 1995.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So temps, they've been regulating anything 95 and up, because that's when, like, a lot of people will know this too. It's our OBD2 ports that we plug in our scanners. Yeah. Anything OBD2 and up is going to have some kind of temp sensor that we can see and see where temperatures are at and stuff like that.
OBD is the onboard diagnostics.
And there's an OBD1 and OBD2. Everything now is OBD2.
But a cooling system issue make the transmission act weird, even if there's nothing wrong with the transmission itself.
And it also depends on the cooling system. Some trucks don't even go through the radiator. So typically on a transmission, the cooler goes through the radiator, and then the engine coolant passes over the internal cooler in the radiator of the car to take heat out of the ATF fluid. So if the engine is overheating, that coolant now that's trying to take out heat is actually introducing more heat. So it can cause the trans to overheat. Typically, you're not going to get to the point where it's going to go nuts or fry something or do something crazy, because by then your engine's going to melt down.
Yeah.
So, but yes, it can cause, like, if especially in trucks, if you're towing a lot and that's getting too excessive, eventually it will heat soak, and then you might throw like a trans temp over light, and then it's going to want you to pull over, it might go into limp mode, things like that.
Gotcha. And on the flip side, could a transmission problem ever make the vehicle hotter?
I'm going to say no to that one, because I've been doing this for quite some time. I've never seen that happen.
Okay.
I'm sure somebody would have some kind of something else to say about that. I'm sure, who knows. But me personally, I mean, I've been doing this for, how long has it been? 17 years? And I've never seen that happen.
I thought you were 16 years old.
Am I wrong?
I'm 14.
So, but anyway, I've never seen that happen.
If someone comes in saying, my vehicle drove fine in the morning, but by afternoon it's acting all weird, what would you say?
Well, I'd ask how long it sat. So when in the morning, depending how long you drove, the transmission is still going to heat soak, and it still takes quite some time for all that heat to dissipate. So then you get back in it and you're still halfway into a heat soak, depending on how long it sat, and then you drive it and then it goes higher again. And then that's why you see it more in the afternoon, because then you kind of like double up on that if it didn't actually fully cold soak, especially in trucks, because you have a huge capacity of fluid. And if, say you drive 30 minutes somewhere, generally that's pretty much full temperature. You're full temp, but you let it sit, and then it's only going to have cold soak. When you go to start it, you're still going to have plenty of temperature in it. And then you go out and you whoop up on it, it's a hot day, whatever, there's a good chance you can go right past that in no time.
So if someone notices two things at once, such as the temperature gauge of the engine moving up and the shifts feeling weird, is that perhaps a situation where you'd want to see the whole vehicle instead of investigating two different problems?
I mean, if the temperature gauge is going up, as long as it's not going over temp, I'm still going to just mostly look at the trans. But if your engine is going past what its normal value is, then yeah, I'm going to look at both.
Okay. One of the biggest takeaways from today is that a change in how your vehicle shifts or how it manages temperature does not automatically signal a major repair. It means your vehicle is giving you information. The sooner it is that you understand what your vehicle is trying to tell you, the easier it is to make an informed decision on repairs. If you're around Wyomissing, Birdsboro, Reading, or Sinking Spring, our team at Myles Auto Care and Transmissions is here and ready to give you the clear answers you need on your vehicle. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.